Hey guys, welcome to another episode of my team here on F1 2020. The third or fourth, I think, actually, episode of it here on the ChesnoidPlays channel. If you're new to the channel and have seen the most recent 2 or 3, then the entirety of the rest of the series is over on my main channel, which is ordinarily a football channel, a FIFA channel. But we've moved it over here with the impending release of FIFA 21. So we're here on the ChesnoidPlays channel. This is where the F1 content will stay. If you want to watch the streams live, though, then follow the link in the description to my Twitch. It's a fully dry race, but mixed conditions on track in quali, and we would like to make it to Q3 today after a blunder in the last qualifying session that thankfully didn't cost us when it came to the race. I am wanting to have a decent showing today, so fingers crossed we can do that and get as many resource points as possible in practice too. Drop the video a like if you enjoy, make sure you subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you after practice. And we do complete the quali objective. Target time of 3rd, and it reckons that we will potentially, if we put that sort of lap in again, qualify in 3rd. Okay, let me just adjust the setup and put that extra tick of rear wing setup in, and I'll overwrite this Hungary one again. And that will do us for practice. That will do us for all practice sessions. We've got a decent amount of points there, resource points. And Jack Aitken again showing good pace. Aitken again showing good pace. Even though he doesn't have the talent, the car is pulling him through. We're going to do a 1:14.1 as well. Just enough to go above Daniel Ricciardo for the time being. That should certainly be a lap good enough to get us through. It's not the easiest of tracks to overtake on either, so if we don't qualify well, it will be difficult to still push to try and get a podium or a win. Let's put as good a lap in as we can on intermediates, and then hope that we can get through and that it dries out for Q3. We are going to put in, Max does a 27.5, we do a 26.7 to go P1. Oh, we did put another time in, and it was very fast too. Well done, Jack. Both Mercedes through, both Ferraris just through. Ferrari not looking that good here. Daniel Ricciardo has made a blunder. He didn't go out again. And unfortunately for him, he's out in qualifying 2. Into qualifying 3 we go then. Hopefully it'll be dry. So if nobody's going out again, because conditions aren't quite good enough, are we about to get a pole? Oh no, Mercedes are on the way out. On softs. Mercedes out on softs. Time to go to track. Time to go to track. And we will qualify 4th, I think that was. 5th. Man. Where did it get away from me? Purple sector 1, but then to only qualify 5th and 7th is disappointing. What? Leclerc did a 13 flat. Where has that come from? Ferrari were awful in Q2, and then they just... in Q3. Where has he got a 13 flat from? Medium, medium, soft it is then. And we'll be rapid at the end of the race. We're going to go long because we might as well. Track position is king around here. It is a track that is hard to overtake on. So we'll go long on the mediums. We'll go long on the mediums, and then hopefully be quick on the softs at the end. And fingers crossed, get another victory at the end of the race. It's a decent start. We're looking to get past oh wow, look at Aitken go. Look at Jack Aitken go. Well, oh god, I was too busy looking at everybody else. I wasn't thinking about actually braking for the first corner. It hadn't even occurred to me to think about braking for the first corner. I was too busy checking everybody else out as they swamped me. But again, if they're starting on softs, then our mediums will work. And our strategy will be slow at the beginning, but quick at the end. And going long will help our strategy. So we might have dropped from 5th to 8th, but that's not much of a problem at this stage. We're pretty hectic into turn 4 with Jack Aitken on the inside of Alex Albon, but he loses out. So long as Jack can still get good points, then the constructors' fight is still alive. The driver's fight is definitely alive. And if we finish considerably higher than Valtteri Bottas in this Grand Prix, we will take the lead of the driver's standings with less than 10 races to go. I expect their tyres to go off, and for us to start catching them and the mediums to come into play probably around about lap 10. It might take that long for it to play in our favour, but the strategy should work well for us again here.
You can use it when within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS.
And like we say, position is king around Hungary. It's kind of, it's always, they always say it in commentary, don't they? It's the Monaco without walls. You can see on the mini-map, look, coming down the bottom right, there is a bit of a gap in front of me, but behind Danny Kvyat there's a bit of a gap as well, as Ube is just falling away now. I'm going to use the majority of my fuel, I think, just to stay with those in front. There's a Ferrari that has just disappeared down the road. Charles Leclerc is outrageous here.
You're sat in P8.
Going for it on Bottas though. Getting the move done. We're up to P7. That's nice. That's really nice. I enjoyed that. That was a good move. Now tucked up behind her teammate, who I should really call team orders on, because we're on different strategies and he's just going to hold me up and I need to go as long as possible and as far as possible. But he will be getting out of the way soon anyway, when they all start to pit.
The target. Drop down to mix too soon.
Oh, I had a look at Jack. Did make contact with his rear tyre there, but we're alright. Now Valtteri's come around the outside of me, so I've had to go a bit defensive. I tried to make the same move on Jack that I did on Valtteri. Realised halfway through, not going to make it, so backed out of it to save causing serious damage for either myself or my teammate. But yeah, if these mediums can go to lap 40, which they genuinely, judging by the wear so far, could, then we could go medium soft. And Bottas being down in 7th is doing us the world of favours for that title fight as well. If we can get a podium, and Jack Aitken can keep Valtteri Bottas behind him for as long as possible, then we will lead the World Championship after this Grand Prix. Albon's in the pits anyway. So that might actually have given him DRS here, annoyingly. It hasn't, right? Jack Aitken is there for the taking. No DRS. Verstappen's in the pits as well. We will take Jack here. Although I've gone deep. And Jack's back through. Never mind. My tactic did work. I just paused it up. Well, my tactic would have worked if I'd have gotten it right. Now Verstappen's having a cheeky look at my inside. No thank you. Sorry, Bottas. Thank you, Valtteri. I knew there was a V in there somewhere. My brain knew it had to start one of the names with a V. Just picked the wrong one. So now Sergio Perez in the AlphaTauri leads the Grand Prix. Up to P2. Oh, Perez is in the pits as well. We lead.
Jack is coming in for his
Bottas in the pits as well. Yeah, everybody else is coming in the pits now. We are in front. Lewis is actually closing. Look, Lewis was 15 seconds behind when we came out of the pits. Whilst the gap to Max has stayed about 10, between 10 and 10.3 the whole stint, Lewis has closed by 1.5 seconds. Lewis is closing on me and Max Verstappen. Putting in pretty consistent laps in the early 19s.
We're leading our teammate by 22.3.
Lewis is only 2.2 seconds behind Max now. Lewis's charge is gonna get held up though by the Ferrari. And Perez still ahead of Albon. Lewis was probably starting to feel a bit of dirty air behind the Ferrari now. If Lewis didn't have Verstappen between us, he'd probably just continue to close up. But because Verstappen's there and he's probably not able to maximise his lap time because of the dirty air coming off the back of the Ferrari, it means that we get a little bit of a reprieve from Lewis Hamilton.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
That's going to do us a huge favour, because Lewis was the one that I was most worried about catching us or being able to, one of the most difficult cars to get past. But if Lewis has got issues, That's going to slow him up. Perfect timing 7 laps before our stop. Perfect timing. Sorry, Lewis, but that might kill your chances of a victory. You'll probably still get a podium, but that might save Max Verstappen in second. Hopefully. God.
Be careful, we think you're going to start losing some tyre grip around now.
Hopefully that means that we should be able to overtake Hamilton relatively easy down the straight, which is obviously going to be the primary overtaking spot, and he really is losing time. Over 14 seconds behind now. He's lost basically a second to a second and a half since that radio message. Lewis is going to fall back into Perez and Albon. Aitken's doing all right. He qualified P7 here, and he's currently running P6. And he qualified P4 at Silverstone, but unfortunately, despite a great start getting himself up to third, then hit Hamilton on the first lap at the start, basically. Spun himself out and ended up going to the back of the grid. He was able to fight back to 9th, but he could have stood a chance of a podium, Jack Aitken, at Silverstone, and he threw it away. But it does look like he's still going to be able to score some points. I'm still probably going to have to carry the team in the Constructors, but Aitken is still going to be able to score us some points. So we don't need to worry too much about losing the Constructors title. Hamilton is falling right back into Perez and Albon now, though. Look, 2.3 seconds back to Perez, and it's a full 5 seconds between him and Verstappen now, and it was less than half that before Hamilton had his engine issue. Alright, we're going to box this lap.
Stopping this lap.
We'll box this lap for a set of softs. We will come out in third. We will come out just in front of Lewis Hamilton, apparently, if we pit now. Just in front of Lewis. Fastest sector one of the race so far, apparently, as the fuel runs down. We're still gaining speed. We'll come out third behind Max. Well, no, actually, behind Lewis as well. Between, it's going to be tight. It's going to be really tight. We're not going to get the clear air we were hoping for, I don't think. We're going to come out with Hamilton, Perez, and Albon. You can see on the mini-map, just come around the top right of it now, that there is not much space between the lot of them. Lewis has backed Albon and Perez right up into Aitken and Bottas. And we're going to come out right with that entire bulk of drivers. I need to have a really quick pit stop, please, team. We need a really quick pit stop. Desperate for it. Come on, give me a good stop. There's a little bit of a gap between Lewis and Perez. A little bit. That's where I need to feed back out into. 1.8 seconds is a wonderful stop. It's a world record stop. And it is enough to see us out in second. We come out of the pits just ahead of Lewis Hamilton. That was all about the pit stop. That is tremendous from our pit crew. Come on, Nick. Come on, Nick. You're holding me up, mate. Get out of the way. Let me through. Excuse me, Nick. Excuse me, Nick. Blue flags, please, Nick. Thank you. Goodbye. Jesus Christ. Right. 6 seconds to max. And we both have one more pit stop to make. So this race is not over yet. I appreciate you guys watching the football and watching me at the same time. We've closed. Oh, Verstappen's in the pits now. Verstappen's in the pits now. He's taking his final pit stop now. So this is the opportunity then.
Fantastic stuff. Really well done. That's first gap to teammate behind.
Now we do have the free air that we were hoping for. We fastest lap by 2.6 seconds, a 1:16.3. Annoyingly, not 3 purple sectors. I was slower in sector 3 than I have been previously.
Jack is in the pits. Jack in the pits.
Jack Aitken is pitting Give him a 1.8 second stop as well, please. Aitken's in third currently. Aitken in third. There's Perez and Ricciardo pit as well. Aitken. Perez is ahead of Bottas now. Or still ahead of Bottas. Aitken. Oh no, Albon's come through. So Albon has jumped. Albon has jumped Perez in the pit stops. Albon has jumped Perez. And Aitken is still P6, but Bottas is further off him. Must have had a good stop. So we still have to pit, and everybody else is done with their pit stops. As things stand, we will come out behind Max when we pit. We will come out behind Max when we pit. Albon passed Perez and now considerably away from him as well. But Checo's still on for a great finish for AlphaTauri in P5. Although hopefully Jack can get past him. Still got Bottas right behind him as well though. The reason having F1 and FIFA on the channel would affect the algorithm negatively for the YouTube channel. It's difficult to explain. The way the YouTube algorithm works, the more popular your content is, the more it gets pushed into the recommended feature, and the more people they will show that video to that are subscribed and are not subscribed. And you have to maintain high levels of views, high levels of watch time, which is how long the average view length is, like how long people are watching for. That needs to be as high as possible. You need to be getting as many views as possible, and you need to be getting as many clicks as possible. The click-through percentage of people that see it to people that actually click on it, that needs to be high too. And as such, the average needs to be high. And with F1 content as well, obviously, a lot less people watch it, a lot less people click on it, and the view time is not too dissimilar from the from the FIFA content, meaning that my average view count and my average click-through percentage is a lot lower. Thus meaning as well, then YouTube doesn't promote my content as much as it could do or should do, meaning that the growth of the channel is affected negatively. I have to maximize the amount of views that I get, maximize the length of time that people are watching any given video, and maximize the amount of people that click on the video when they see it in their sub box. That's why I've moved the F1 content to the second channel for FIFA 21, because I want to maximize the amount of people that are seeing videos, the amount of people that are clicking videos, and the amount of time that people are watching those videos when they click on them. That's why the F1 content negatively affects the YouTube algorithm and the growth of the channel. Tyres are 30% worn after 13 laps. I'm going to try and push it, because the next set I'm putting on supposedly are going to be slightly worn. I'm going to push this set to lap 57, and then we should be good till the end from lap 57. I'm going to pick this lap. We should come out in first still. Oh. Nailed the pit entry then. We should come out in first. But it won't be a massive margin.
Go now.
That stop was a second slower than the last one.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
And we are still in first. Gap to Max is about just over 8 seconds. Just over 8 seconds. I'm going to run in lean for the rest of the Grand Prix, and we will enjoy another victory. We're in a position with the car now where we really are comfortable, provided I don't make any mistakes. But I don't think I want to lower up the difficulty for the rest of this season. But yeah, like when the difficulty was set to 100 last season, and we were one of the worst cars on the grid, and were struggling, I didn't make it easier for myself by lowering the difficulty. So now that we've put all the hard work in, and are reaping the rewards, I don't really want to make it more difficult. We've earned this sort of scenario that we find ourselves in with our own hard work and good results. So I think what I'd like to do is keep going with the difficulty as it is. Of course, I'm open to feedback, and by all means, those of you in the YouTube video as well, give me the feedback in the comment section too. What I'd like to do is keep the difficulty at 100 as it is at the minute, and just keep racing until we win the World Championship. And then once we've won the World Championship, drivers that is, not constructors, once we've won the World Championship, then up the difficulty and experiment and find a good place for next season where we will still have a very good car, but we can do a whole season where we'll still be very or everyone else will still be very competitive with us. But I don't want to do that now and risk losing a World Championship that should be mine. So I want to keep racing at 100 until we've won the World Championship, and then fiddle with the difficulty to try and find somewhere that's good for entertaining races in Season 3. That's my plan right now. Because we're well over halfway in the calendar now. This is actually, we are just over halfway. I think this is race 13, isn't it? But I think that's the best thing to do, because it means that we'll win the World Championship as soon as possible, and then still have hopefully 3 or 4 races, if not slightly more, to mess about with the difficulty moving forward at the end of the season. So we can do a race at like 102 and see what it's like, and then if it's still a little bit too comfortable, try one at 104, or maybe at 102 it'll be too difficult and we'll try it at 101, or work our way up incrementally and just go 101, 102, 103 and find the balance.
This is your final lap of the race.
Yes, that was us lapping Correa for the second time. We overtook him last time when he pit. We overtook the first Williams. We overtook Nick DeVries and lapped him, and then Correa pit from in front of us and then ended up coming out behind us. Obviously we've then pit a further 2 times since then and have fallen back behind, but have now lapped him again for a second time. And just down the road in front of us, in fact just there, look, just ahead of Antoine Hubert, is the other Williams that we're not going to get the chance to lap. Not that it's necessarily a missed chance, but we won't be lapping because he's too far away and we're on the final lap of the race. So we are going to win in Hungary by about 12 seconds from Verstappen, who's actually had Lewis close right back up to him after they must have fixed his issue, and the gap to Lewis has maintained about 13 to 14 seconds. He's closed up another 6 or 7 from where he dropped back to when he was having the issues, so fair play to him. But we are going to win in Hungary, and those of you on the YouTube channel, do let me know in the comment section down below what you think of what I mentioned earlier on in the video about the difficulty. Like I say, I'm thinking of staying at 100 until we win the World Championship, and then playing with it until we find the right place to be with the strength of the car for Season 3.
It's a performance to be proud of today from
But
Hungarian Grand Prix
thrilled with the victory,
Here comes your top
and
3 making
we'll
their way down
be
to
able
the
to do
podium.
shaky bottle time again. Max in a Ferrari outfit just never looks quite right, does it?
Formula One.
But it is shaky bottle time. Winner, winner, chicken dinner again. Etc. What's the difference between 19 and 20 bar my team? As far as I'm aware, not a massive amount, but
Let's see how the driver's standings have changed. Wood takes over the lead.
the AI, the
Drivers'
gameplay is
Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track
just
today.
as good, if not
Anthony,
slightly
who would you
better.
pick as your driver of the day?
I mean, 19 was a really damn good game anyway.
Stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks.
It's time to check
I'd say
out
my
the
team is worth it
constructors' standings.
on
Here
its
are the
own.
drivers' teams
I
moving
don't tend to
top
race a
of the
lot
table.
online, so I
There was
don't know
also
about the
a strong
online
showing from the
changes.
McLaren team
But I
today as
thoroughly,
they make
thoroughly
their
love
way up
F1
the
2020.
standings.
Thanks for the 150 bits, Ewok. So
So
we finished first, get 26 points for the extra fastest lap point. Jack finishes 6th. Thank you for the bits, official SD. Jack finishes 6th. So with Valtteri 7th, we have a new championship leader. This guy, by 6 points from Valtteri Bottas. Charles finished only in 8th in that Grand Prix after starting on pole. I've no idea what actually happened to him. Did he get damage? Did he get damage? Did he... No? I don't know what happened to Charles. He just had a terrible Grand Prix. Started first, finished 8th. But like we say, we've taken the lead in the drivers. And we've taken the lead in the constructors as well, as Jack Aitken is doing enough right now to help us maintain a challenge for both titles. +6 over Mercedes, +6 over Valtteri. Love that. Jack was 0.150 off Perez, was he? Was he really that close?
To enjoy that. Made it look easy.
We've got a great car, Claire.
You're leading the championship. Are you happy to be there or feeling the pressure?
There's no time to get complacent. Each race is a unique challenge.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
The Aero can take it. We have to bear in mind we have had a lot of dry races. Oh, only 2 questions. We've had a lot of dry races. And in the wet, I'm nowhere near as competitive. So not only have we gotten lucky with the regulation changes, we've also gotten lucky with the weather too. Because if it rains, I'm not going to be anywhere near as strong. So weather will play a large part as well. And we have Belgium next, so Christ knows what the weather is going to be like there. But Jack Aitken's doing well so far, so I'm very pleased with his performances. Thank you for the follow, Ahmed.
Morning, boss. This week's
Morning, mate.
income from the sponsors is clear.
Of course, there's a season break. We've got the season break coming. I'm going to keep trying to... I can't train Jack at all, unfortunately, over the next 4 days. What can we do? Vehicle PR, filming, attend F1 esports event. Why not? We'll do that. We've got a press interview coming up as well. Let me take... To be fair, I could just do practice and all those bits. I'll do practice and all those bits, and we've still got 3 and 4. We'll be fine now for the rest of the season with parts. We've got nearly $10 million in the bank. We will advance time and go to that press interview with Will Buxton, and then hopefully have loads of resource points after the season break and some extra money.
We are in the HQ of our newest Formula One team. We've got an awful lot to talk about, so let's jump straight in.
How good does that car look in the background, by the way?
Your car's been able to challenge the very top teams. Is it safe to say you've surprised everyone?
I'm not sure we surprised everyone. A few people believed in us. You guys.
Now let's talk about that new sponsor. How did that relationship come about?
They offered the most money.
You lost your second driver due to financial issues. How dire is the situation at your team?
All right. We have plans. We have plans in place to recover. We're not going anywhere just yet. We've already recovered.
Would you say that it's important to develop your drivers as much as possible?
We push everything to the extreme, be it cars or drivers. We expect the most now that we have the best
Your
car.
team's had their first win in Formula One. Is this a sign of things to come?
Absolutely. Get used to seeing us on the podium because we are here to stay.
Well, thanks a lot for inviting us here. It's been fantastic.
You're welcome, Mr. Buxton. Thank you, Will. Great interview as ever. I really like Will Buxton. Right, season break time. As there isn't another race for a while, we'll be closing down the Team HQ until the next race weekend. Start season break. We are off to the Belgian Grand Prix on the 27th of August even. Chassis team building. Or the esports event. Let's do the chassis team building because I can't do anything else. Advance to the Belgian Grand Prix. Chassis team building. Lose some money but earn some resource points. R&D. September we're waiting for. So they should be ready for the next Grand Prix, actually. 3rd of September, 7th of September. It's a 2-week break, isn't it, between Belgium and Italy, I think. So those parts should be back for Monza, which would be good. I don't have enough resource points to advance anywhere other than durability, which I'm not that bothered about doing, to be honest. We definitely don't need to do. So we'll save those resource points. We'll go to the next race weekend. Actually, you guys wanted to know what Jack Aitken's rating is. He's 76 rated. 76 rated. That's what Jack Aitken is right now. And as things stand, with £10 million, which we could easily get Esteban Ocon back for. But next season, we'll be aiming slightly higher up the grid. Lewis has taken a big jump, hasn't he? Bottas has dropped to 90 rated. He was up at 91, perhaps? Lewis is now 95, and that's why he's started to show some improvements. Charles Leclerc, 88. Pace is 94, though, and that's obviously why he's going so quickly. Max Verstappen, pace 97. Wow. Right, advance to the next race weekend. Let's see if any of the other teams have actually closed the gap in the performance index. Time to save up some more channel points. Yes, Mariners. Thanks for follow Gaming Tech. Welcome to the channel, mate. So, dry conditions on track, it says. We should have a fully dry Spa. We should have a fully dry Spa. Although with those clouds, that double cloud symbol, there might be a little bit of drizzle. You can't take everything for granted, especially in Spa. So we are currently 5-time Grand Prix winners. We've won 5 of the last 6 Grand Prix, with the other one being won by our then teammate Esteban Ocon. So as a team, we're on a 6-race win streak. 6-race win streak. Valtteri Bottas has really fallen off the wagon, hasn't he? Third. First. Third. 19th in Monaco. Second, 8th, 3rd, 5th, 7th. Only one podium in the last 4 races for Valtteri Bottas. That's why we've found ourselves at the top of the standings. But with Belgium next, then Italy, Singapore, Russia, Japan, USA, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi, where we got our first ever podium, of course, at the end of last season. So, has anyone made any progress? Mercedes have closed the gap a little bit more. Mercedes have closed the gap a little bit more. We will still have a difficult race in Spa. So, for now, that's all for this YouTube video. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel. Yada, yada, yada. Check the main channel for anything you may have missed. Of course, FIFA 21 content is coming very soon on Chesnoid Gaming. But for now, thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you on YouTube next time.